There comes a moment in every sentient life where the clock, no, not the one on the wall, but the one behind the ribs, stutters. A second stretches beyond its station, swelling with the weight of an entire cosmos, and in that pause, in that unbearable quietude, the question arrives: why? The word is so small, yet it unravels everything. It is not dressed in the polite inquiries of the waking world. No, this is not the why of forgotten keys or missed trains. It is not the why of science, the curiosity of discovery. It is not the why of lovers, of historians, of skeptics. This why has no object. It devours itself. It arrives when the scaffolding of certainty collapses, when the hands that once knew the shape of their purpose suddenly find themselves touching air. When the mirror, once a faithful oracle of identity, begins to stare back with the vacant eyes of a stranger. To be aware is to bear the impossible burden of perspective. The ant does not ask why it carries the grain. The ocean does not trouble itself over the moon's influence. The sun does not hesitate before setting. But we are cursed with the luxury of thought. We stand on the shore of our own minds and watch the tides of purpose recede, leaving only the jagged fossils of past beliefs. And the silence, the silence. It is not the absence of noise, but the presence of something much heavier. It is the sound of stars whispering their ancient indifference, of the universe stretching into eternity without the faintest regard for the fragile thoughts of one who ponders it. How cruel, how magnificent. What is the answer to a question that has no answer? Do we invent it? Stitch together meaning from the remnants of old philosophies, dead gods, and half-remembered poetry? Do we feign conviction, pretend that the illusion of purpose is enough to quiet the trembling within? Or do we embrace the absurdity? Do we laugh, not out of joy, but out of the sheer audacity of existing at all? Perhaps the crisis is not a sickness, but a shedding, a painful molting of inherited truths, a necessary collapse to make room for something new. Perhaps the only mistake is in believing that meaning must be something given, rather than something made. A tree does not stand in the forest and demands to know why it grows. A river does not seek justification before it carves the earth. They exist, and in existing, they fulfill their purpose. So must we, not by knowing, not by clinging to certainty, nor by fearing its absence, but by becoming, by breathing, by creating, by loving, by speaking words that will dissolve into the wind long after we are gone, but speaking them anyway. We are not here to understand. We are here to be. And perhaps that fragile, fleeting, defiant is meaning enough.